Hey everyone, today I'm coming to you with a very special character, special figure, special review. I'm coming to you with the Mighty Thor Marvel Legends action figure review. Now, this is a figure which I was very hyped for, probably the most hyped for of the wave, and probably my top 5 most hyped figures of the year. This is just something that is so crazy to see in MCU form as an action figure, and the fact that the movie's not even out, and I have this in my hands, and I'm looking at the photos that they're showing from the movie, and it is so accurate, and I'm very happy about that. But this figure is absolutely amazing. I have very few gripes with it. So, without further ado, let's get into Jane Foster, or the Mighty Thor's review. So, let's start off with the box. Her bio reads, Mighty Thor, Jane Foster's life is forever changed when she mysteriously comes to possess the hammer Mjolnir and the power of the Mighty Thor. I'm very excited to see how they go about that in the film. There you can see the beautiful Marvel Studios Thor Love and Thunder logo. You can see Jane Foster on the side. Natalie Portman, you see the little dimple, looks exactly like her there. So hyped to see her in action, kicking some gore, the God Butcher ass. And there you can see the rest of the wave. Obviously, it's the Korg Build-A-Figure, so we reviewed him yesterday. We got Mighty Thor today, and then Gore tomorrow. Very excited to review him. Lots to say about him. And then the rest of the figures are absolutely amazing. Same with the Build-A-Figure. But that is enough with the goddamn cardboard box. So here we have Mighty Thor. Now, my only few gripes I'll get out of the way right away is I don't like the hammer. Now, I don't think it's because of the size. It's gotten a lot bigger, obviously, because here we have the one from last year, the Endgame one, and you can obviously see the difference, but I think the reason why it's so big is because, Jane is obviously a lot smaller, and they made these Thor figures to be massive, like way bigger than he probably should be in comparison to the other figures, so they probably, just to, go with the size, made the hammer bigger because she's so small, but not those biceps. She got absolutely jacked for this movie. I'm so excited to see Jack Natalie Portman. But my problem with the hammer is it's a great sculpt, and you can see all the cracks and how it all came back together. But, this is going to be such an important part of the movie, and they just added no freaking paint to it. It's like, come on, Hasbro. Keep pushing the prices up. Just do it. But at the same time, can you, put out, give us some detail in our figures. I'm not complaining because this figure is awesome, but the accessories, it just doesn't feel like it matches with the figure. It's just gray. It's literally gray. There's no silver. There's no nothing. It should be the same color as this, and there should be some, lightning effects going through, some, blue lightning paint, but there's nothing. And obviously I can do that with some paint, but it's I paid this premium price with all these figures, $35 to $40, and I just don't like that I don't get any paint or anything on this hammer. It's they molded it, they put it out, done. The paint on this is amazing. Everything else is great, but it's just that's the one thing that really bothers me about the figure. The other thing that kind of bothers me, not as much, is I wish he would have came with 2 extra hands, this for that side and this for that side, but it doesn't really matter because she mainly is just going to be holding it in this side. But other than that, her other accessory is a unmasked Natalie Portman or Jane Foster head. Now, obviously, this isn't what we're expecting from the movie. I mean, this is what it looks like in the movie, but it's not what we expected because, she's not blonde in the other MCU movies. I mean, not to this extent, but this is just jet blonde, not even, it's even more blonde than Thor, which is very interesting, but maybe that happens when she gets the power. It's definitely accurate to the comics. I'm very happy that she has the blonde hair, obviously, but we can put that head, not helmet, on. And honestly, at first, I didn't think this was the best likeness, but it is very good for a action figure of this price. It's not the best likeness, but I definitely can see Natalie Portman on that. I don't think it's as good as the Padme from Black Series, which I don't own, but I know is a very good likeness. But there you can see that awesome head sculpt. And then if we take the hammer off, just looking at all the detail on this figure, you can see the amazing paint apps besides the little... This is what's going to happen when they go into cardboard boxes. I'm not going to be able to see that. Hasbro is getting on my nerves. But anyway, you can see the silver, the sculpt is amazing on this figure. And oh my God, is this a dream? We have double jointed pinless elbows on a female figure. Wow. What an absolute treat to get on this figure. They did it with the Valkyrie in the same wave as well, so that's awesome. Pinless legs as well, so you can see the, the pinless action, which is just so satisfying to me. I love that all the figures, or most of them, are becoming pinless now. And then there you can see how she has these little wings on the boots, which are very, very cool because that is accurate to her comic outfit, which we can compare right now because I do own that figure. You can see the little wings on the boots. Obviously, it's not the same, but here you can see some similarities. It's just an okay figure, not great compared to this one, just because the elbows didn't even really go in 90, and these go in freaking the whole amount, which is just crazy to get. But let's get her out of the frame until the comparison. She has a little band there. You can see the back is very Thor-like. You can see a bunch of, just Thor details going around. And the paint on it is very cool. Obviously, there could be more shading, but you can say that with any figure, if I'm being honest. So, the figure itself, I don't think I really have anything to complain about. But, it's more just that hammer that bothers me. And I think I won't be alone with that. I mean, I think maybe I'll have her displayed with this hammer because... oh, that looks really cool. But, I mean, because it does have the cracks on it still, but, I don't know. Where did the hammer go? There it is. I'm kind of disappointed in this hammer. Like, nothing size related. It's just like, why? You just made this gray hammer. There's, like, nothing really else to it. I don't have another normal Mjolnir here with me, but you get the point. But here you can see the head sculpt with the helmet on, looks great. But other than that, that is all I really have to say about the Jane Foster figure. So without further ado, let's get into the articulation, which, boy, oh boy, is great. The articulation is very similar on both heads, so I'm only going to do it on this one. But the head, it's on a dumbbell joint, so it goes up that much. It goes down that much. Obviously, the hair gets in the way, but it is very, flexible, which I like that Hasbro is doing with other long-haired figures as of late. And then you get some tilt, you get a full 360, obviously, but that is basically the extent of the movement, which is all I can really ask for because, you're not going to get that much with that much hair. The arms go out that far. They go full 360. There is an upper bicep cut, so you get the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Yes, that is so awesome. This makes up for any problems I have in the wave. No, it doesn't, but it certainly helps. This hand goes up, down, full 360. No swivel there or here, and it is the same. Oh, no, it's not. This is up and down, which is great because then you can get her holding the hammer as if she's pointing it, which is great. And then the ab crunch goes down that much, goes back that far, to the side, full 360. Legs will kick up that far. I want to go further than that because that will start to cut, but that is enough, I think. The legs actually do kick back a decent amount because there is a little bit of a cut there as well. And then there's an upper thigh cut, very smooth, double jointed knees. The legs do go out that much, which is great. Double jointed knees, like I said. No boot swivel or anything, but the ankles go up, down, and ankle pivot. Just amazing articulation. If this figure had butterfly joints, I would basically say it's perfect. Like, it is perfect, minus the hammer. Like, just this by itself is near perfect. And I don't know if I'm just, like, simping over this figure, but let me know what you think of this in the comments below, because I really like this Jane Foster figure. Like, even compared to the SH Figure Arts one, which is basically double, nearly triple the price, honestly, this is way more worth it, in my opinion. That one, hammer-wise, you get a bunch of effects, and I don't think it's more worth it because, I don't have it yet, and I probably won't get it, but we will see. I definitely want to get into SH Figure Arts. I think the first one I want to get is the Multiverse of Madness Doctor Strange, but that is for another video and another time. So let's get into the comparisons. For comparisons, I am going to compare her next to, I'd say, a bunch of figures. We got Mjolnir, which is not a figure, but I'm going to compare her with Mjolnir and if you would please just stand. There we go. This is the Captain America Sam Wilson, and this is just, I got to take a second here because this is really surreal just to have these two in MCU action figure form. Like, oh my God, Secret Wars is coming, boy. I really like this figure, and I like this one a lot too. So these two just go really well together, and they can do their kiss that they did in the comics. And then Thor comes in, and is like, what the hell was that? But maybe he'll be dead. Hopefully not. But, you know, there we have him next to probably the next Avengers lineup. And then, obviously, we got to compare her next to Mjolnir, who I just called him Mjolnir. What's your name again? Right, Thor. You're like what the movie is named after. Kind of a little important, so you can see the difference there. And then another important one is the comic rendition of Mighty Thor or Jane Foster Thor. So that looks very cool, quite similar with the helmet. And then another figure I wanted to compare next to is another Asgardian female, or Asgardian armor wearing female. We have the Lady Sif figure, which is actually a pretty good figure. Some similar color schemes here. You probably, if you wanted to, you could, some customizing, you can make this figure into this. Probably not, but, you know, you get what I mean. It's kind of similar just with how it's, you know, made. Actually, not that much, but you know what I mean. Anyway, the final figures I want to compare her next to is, of course, tomorrow's review, Gore the God Butcher, which hopefully he will get his ass beat by Lady Thor or Mighty Thor. And then just from today, I think we got this really cool still little picture of Valkyrie with Mighty Thor on a throne. So I'm excited to see how that plays into the movie. But those two look awesome. Very excited to do a review on her. She is just as good, if not better. But that is the comparisons for Mighty Thor. So let's get on to the final thoughts. My final thoughts on this figure, if you watch the whole video, I think you can kind of piece together what I would think of this figure. I absolutely love it. I got this figure with the Armored Thor at Toys R Us on Friday. This wave I've been looking for probably more and longer than any wave I've looked for before. I hit about Walmart 45 times because my friend, we're in Edmonton, Alberta, and he went to one of the stores and he found the Thor. So I went to all the stores and I tried to find a wave and I found nothing. And we only found that Thor, us together, and, you know, for like a whole month. So it was kind of shocking that we just found this, and then for a whole month it was super dry. But I found these two at Toys R Us, which was really shocking because it was just them and Gore, which is like the rarest figures of the wave, shockingly. But at Toys R Us, they are $42.99, so that is very overpriced. But then on Monday, yesterday, I found someone selling the entire wave for 240 Canadian dollars. So I bought the whole wave. And then I kept the receipt, obviously, for those two, and I just returned them, got my money back. So those worked out to be like $34, but Toys R Us is so insane. And I wouldn't have bought them normally, but just because I wanted them so bad. And I went on a road trip, and I genuinely could not put either of these down the whole time. They were what got me through the whole thing. And honestly, I have zero bad things to say about the figure itself. The hammer, honestly, really bothers me. But, you know, once you get past that, it is an absolutely amazing figure. So I'm going to give this Jane Foster a 9.5 out of 10. Now, let me know what you think of this figure in the comments below. Is it as good as I say, or am I overhyping it? Are you going to pick it up? Let me know, as always, in the comments below. And I have been Jagger Collector. I will see you in my next video, which will be very goring. Ah ha 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 ha. Okay, bye.